Hello, hola, welcome to this week's video lesson. Today we are talking about patterns of inheritance. To inherit means to receive or to get. So when we're talking about genetics, inheritance is the passing of traits from generation to generation. In this lesson, there is a lot of important vocabulary words. If you feel like you need a review on these words, trait, gene, allele, dominant, recessive, homozygous, heterozygous, phenotype, or genotype, go back to the slides and click this link. Mr. Longus made a video where he explains the definition to all of these words. First of all, a reminder, phenotype is how our genes are expressed. So it's what we look like. If we have the genes for dark hair, then your phenotype is your dark hair. These three people have almost the exact same phenotype because they all look the same. How do we inherit our traits? We get our traits from our parents. Half of your genetic material is from your mother. The other half is given to you from your father. That's because the egg and the sperm that created you are haploid cells, meaning they have half a set of genetic information, so that when the egg and the sperm join, their two halves combine to make a full set of DNA. This means that for every trait that you have two copies, one from your mother and one from your father. This P and this P crossed, and they had this P as their offspring. So he has one copy from his mother and the other copy from his father. This is a picture of human fertilization. I know that it's a human fertilization because there are 23 chromosomes from the mother egg and 23 chromosomes from the sperm. 23 plus 23 equals 46. Human beings have 46 chromosomes. Other animals have more chromosomes or less chromosomes, but humans have 46. So when an egg and a sperm combine, they come together, they create a zygote. That is a fertilized egg. That zygote will then go through cellular division, and those cells will multiply until it is an embryo. An embryo is like a baby that's not fully developed yet. How do we know which traits that we get? We know that we have two copies of each trait, one copy from each parent. We can use a model like this to figure out which traits are getting passed down. This is called a Punnet square. A Punnet square shows all of the possibilities of the traits getting passed down. The way that you use this is you put the genotype of one parent on top and the genotype of the other parent on the side. The letters move into the boxes that they are in line with, and they combine or match up with the other letters to make a full genotype. So within each box is one possibility for this cross's offspring to be. There is a 50% chance, because 2 out of 4 is 50%. So there's a 50% chance that their offspring will be yellow, because yellow is dominant. And there's a 50% chance that their offspring will be green because two little y's make a green phenotype. In this box, try to guess which letters represent the parents. The top and the side. These two letters represent one parent, and these two letters represent another parent. What does each box represent? Each box represents one possibility for the genotype of the offspring of these parents. Which alleles go into each box? The letters drop down into the box that they are in line with. So these are the possible genotypes of this cross. Remember, capital letters are dominant. Lowercase letters are recessive. When an allele is dominant, it always shows itself. So, for example, this genotype, even though it has a little p, the phenotype will be whatever dominant trait this big P represents. For example, cats can either have short hair or long hair. Having short hair is dominant, meaning that when a short-haired cat and a long-haired cat cross, the babies of that cross will probably have short hair. To have short hair, the cat will need to have either two big H's or a big H and a little h. But to have long hair, because long hair is recessive, both letters need to be little for the cat to have long hair. So, let's cross a heterozygous cat. Hetero means different, so we know that the letters will be different. So heterozygous looks like this, big H, little h. So we're crossing a heterozygous cat with a long-haired cat. We know, because long hair is recessive, that the genotype of the long-haired cat will have little h, little h. So the first thing to do is to put the parents on the Punnett square. So we have the short-haired cat, and we would have the long-haired cat right here. Okay, so the big H drops down, the little h moves over. This is a short-haired cat because of the big H. This little h moves over, this little h moves down, and this cat has long hair. So if we keep doing that, we will find out that 50% of the offspring will be short-haired and 50% will be long-haired, because 2 out of 4 have long hair, and 2 out of 4 is 50%. So Punnett squares tell you the probability or the percent chance of having certain offspring. So again, your two alleles are your genotype. Those are the letters that go along with your traits. Your genotype determines your phenotype. The phenotype is what you actually look like. So in this case, this mother, her genotype is big B, little b, but her phenotype is brown eyes, because brown eyes are dominant, so she has brown eyes. Dominant allele always shows itself. Recessive alleles, both letters need to be recessive or small to be showing. When you're writing a genotype, the big letter always comes first. It would never go little b, big B. It's just big B, then little b. So when we take a purple flamingo and a pink flamingo and they cross, so they make a baby, their offspring, or their baby, is also pink. So let me ask you a question. Which trait is dominant? Pink feathers or purple feathers? Which trait is dominant? The answer is the pink feathers. And we can tell because when they cross, even though this flamingo will carry the purple trait, its feathers are pink because the pink allele is dominant. Okay, let's review. What we look like is our phenotype. Our phenotype is determined by our genotype, and these make up our traits. Dominant alleles always show themselves. They are the big letter that is written first. And if they are present, they will be what shines through. We can predict the traits of offspring using a Punnet square. Okay, that is the end of this video. Tomorrow, we will give you a second video to watch, which will explain more advanced patterns of inheritance. For now, if there's anything that you don't understand, ask your teachers a question or watch the video again. We are here to help you, and we hope you're doing well.